is the Volkswagen Tayron, not Tayron, even though it is spelled Tayron. English can be a funny language, or maybe German to English can be a funny language, although this name has originated in China since 2018. But this is actually the 7-seater version of the Tiguan, or the replacement of the Tiguan Allspace. This is the key of the vehicle. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Anyways, this car is actually made in India. Yeah, it's a CKD. Meanwhile, the Tiguan is a CBU. This car gets 14 ADAS features, level 2 ADAS. Meanwhile, 21 ADAS features in the fully imported Tiguan, but the Kodiaq has no ADAS at all. So yes, this car has a lot more features when compared to the Kodiaq. Now, before we get into the design, straight away, let's open the engine bay. And yes, there's still no diesel engine here. The same E8 888 Gen 4 engine, which is a petrol unit, extremely smooth and refined. But a diesel is a diesel is a diesel is a diesel. It obviously competes with a Toyota Fortuner, which gets both petrol and diesel engine options, along with hybrid as well, mild hybrid, whatever. There is insulation here. Doesn't need it because the engine is so damn smooth. You get gas struts as well, which the Fortuner does not get at all. And in terms of the design, well, it looks identical to the Tiguan, which means that it's the same car. Honestly, it's not, because this is actually the 7-seater version, but it's actually the same car. Why I was saying it's not, because certain changes have been done, like to the light elements, which are different here, because this car has got 3 different animations. So when you turn on the car, it gives you 3 different types of projections. I mean, you have to select it inside the screen. However, you can only see it from the inside because you can't really notice it here. Full LED lights, known as the IQ light, HD matrix lights. You get the connected light bar, which actually illuminates when you unlock the car. The VW logo also is illuminated here. Dynamic swipe indicators, which you can turn off if you want. Yeah, you can have the regular indicators as well. So a lot of options in that regard. And because this is the R Line, you get this black finish, gloss black finishing here in the center on the bumper, sort of for the grille. There's a camera here. So yes, it gets a 360-degree parking camera now. This is completely open for better breathing, obviously. You get 6 parking sensors because this car has obviously got self-park. R badging here because this is the R Line, obviously, and active aero curtains. Yeah, these vents are very much active for better airflow, and someone has actually gone and curbed the wheels. Ouch, that is painful. Well, it runs on 19-inch wheels, tire size 255/45 19s, exact same as the Tiguan. However, the Kodiaq has 18-inch wheels, and abroad you get 20 inches. But then we need some profile for our roads. But there is no DCC here. Oops. And you get this gloss finishing here, which does not run throughout the car, but this is obviously prone to a lot of scratches. R badging here, it actually projects from here at night, the VW logo, with some nice surround to it, which is fantastic as well. Camera here, phenomenal. Obviously you get a camera there for lane keep assist. You get a rain sensor there as well. In terms of size, when compared to the Tiguan, it is actually 7 mm wider, 9 mm taller, which is making it slightly bigger, not big by a big margin. And where is the radar for the ADAS? I think it's behind this panel, because I don't see an individual panel as such for the ADAS system. Coming to the length of this car, where the biggest improvement has happened, 253 mm longer when compared to Tiguan Allspace as well as the Tiguan. In fact, right now, let me take another car in front of me. The length is much bigger because it has to accommodate the last row. So 253 mm longer when compared to the Tiguan Allspace as well as the current Tiguan. And the wheelbase has increased by 111 mm, which obviously helps put another row of seats right there. Ground clearance seems decent here. Alloy wheel design is nice. It has this dual tone treatment to it, and you get roof rails that don't seem to be functional as such. Now, light comes out of all the door handles at night, so it's easy to spot them. And the front door handles or front doors actually have request sensors. So when you come, put your hand, it automatically unlocks. It automatically senses and unlocks as well. Fuel goes in right here, and the treatment around the wheel arches with the gloss finish. It has this extension here. I think that's for air efficiency. Parking sensors almost everywhere. IQ light, well, it has the connected light treatment. Now here is the good part. You can actually change the animation of the light. There are 3 options here. That's similar to the Golf GTI. So that's a lot of drama happening in this car, which is absolutely fantastic. 4Motion, because it has all-wheel drive, obviously. And the exhaust is placed there as well as here. So you've got dual exhaust tips, which are hidden obviously under the bumper. This is provision for the towing hook. And you get this nice treatment here. So it's finished in black to reduce the visual bulk, which is actually fantastic. You get dynamic swipe indicators and this connected light bar. It has this animation when you lock and unlock the vehicle, so it obviously eliminates and obviously shuts down as well when you lock the car, and you can obviously change the timing for the same. It says Tayron right here. VW logo is beautifully illuminated in red. This is actually the reverse light. This is the rear fog, but this one does not illuminate only. I don't know why it's fixed. It doesn't illuminate. You get a rear wiper washer. You get a sort of a rear spoiler, the high mounted stop lamp. You get a shark fin antenna as well. Usually I would open the boot, but I'm not going to do that because first let's get inside. And here you get sun blind, which is nice. Door pockets are beautifully damped here, but lot of hard plastics lower down, soft material here. Nice blue stitching, gloss finish. Lot of effort has gone in this car, no doubt about that. That is the minimum legroom. That is no legroom actually. That makes it the Tiguan, no space. And this is the maximum legroom because you can actually slide the seat ahead and behind. That's right, which is quite nice. You can fold the seat down, so it folds in 40, 20, 40 format, which again is amazing, and the seat is very nice and comfortable. For starters, there is good amount of foot room. There's good amount of knee room as well. You can slide this ahead and behind easily. Another support is decent. It's not the best, and headroom is quite adequate. Yeah, even for someone as tall as me, it's very much adequate. So space here is nice and comfortable, and because this seat reclines, so you can recline the seat if you want. This makes it very comfortable. It actually reclines by 15 degrees. The Tiguan has no recline only. Yeah, the Tiguan seat does not recline. It's fixed because I don't know why. It doesn't need to recline because obviously it's a 2-row SUV. This is a 3-row SUV, and you get these magazine pockets. You get phone holders on both the sides. Height adjustable seat belt. Hook here says airbag because it has got 9 airbags, including a center airbag, and beautifully damped handles along with the hook. This is a coat hook. Light placement here on the top, which activates with a touch, which is again amazing. Now center armrest has cup holders. You just need to pull it out like this, and there it opens. That's also very practical. So amazing space in the second row, really fantastic. The dashboard will definitely remind you of the Tiguan. A lot of it is similar. However, this car has got keyless entry, 360-degree parking camera, powered seat, electric tailgate. All those features are actually missing in the Tiguan. So they have given all these features because the Tiguan actually comes from the UK. So the imported model from the UK does not have these features. I don't know what is the thing. But yeah, they have been offered in this car. Volkswagen has given it every possible feature, which is amazing. Yeah, a little hard here, and then easy to move the headrest ahead and behind. Meanwhile, getting into the third row isn't easy because this does not tumble. So what you have to do, you have to pull it like this, and it slides ahead like this, and then you get inside. Center passenger gets ahead. Third row seat is not for adults, it's for children only. In fact, Volkswagen is very honest. They say that the third row is for young adults. That's a nice way of saying it's for people who are still growing and not really eaten Bonvita or Complan, because honestly, space there is very poor. Underside support is poor, legroom is poor, knee room is poor, headroom is okay. You know why? Because obviously when you push the seat all the way behind, there is no space only. So just look at this shot where I'm showing you the minimum and the maximum space in the third row. When you move the seat ahead and behind, you can do a little bit mandoli with the second row passengers to have some space in the third row. And here you get cubby hole, a hook, and same is the case there as well. I don't find charging ports here, and there are lights on the top, but where are the AC vents for the third row? There seem to be none. Seat belts, proper ones, which is actually a good thing. But yeah, this is best for children, not really for adults, which is kind of the disappointing part here. But you get a blind here, which is nice. Oh yeah, giving a blind in the third row. So optimistic of Volkswagen. So yeah, you can move the seat ahead and behind depending on your requirement. Which brings me to the boot. It has got gesture control for the power tailgate. Yeah, power tailgate is not there in the Tiguan. This one has a power tailgate with gesture control as well. So you come here, you put your foot down like that, and then it opens. The thing is, right now the car is on, so it might not work. And it has gesture close as well, not just open, close also. For closing also, you do the same thing. You just wave your foot there, and you have to go a few steps back, and it will shut on its own. The spare wheel of this car is obviously smaller size, because how will they fit in a spare wheel here? So it's a 145/85 18-inch tire. That is actually the subwoofer. And yeah, that is the parcel shelf of the vehicle. What is this? There is this net. In case you push the seat down, which I'm going to do right now, simple, just do it like this and push it all the way. The seat is a bit behind, so obviously that will not happen. But I can actually fold the seat from here. All I need to do is pull this, and there the seat falls. So yeah, it gives me the option of doing that as well, which is fantastic. Okay, the driver's seat is a bit behind, so that will not happen properly. 12 volt charging socket has been given here, which is so difficult to open, and there is a hook here, light placement here, and this is actually the owner's manual, which is lying in the boot. I don't know why it's lying in the boot. Khul ja bhai. It refuses to open only. There's so many features in this car that this book is 460 pages, 465 pages, which is quite crazy. And that is the warning triangle, the first aid kit. As always, super duper cheap. I don't know why all car brands offer a first aid kit which needs its own first aid kit. And light placement here. Power tailgate. I press a button and there it shuts. Now obviously it has got a camera at the rear, but it has a camera spray too to clean the camera, which is a nice touch. And notice this black panel here. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail in terms of design, in terms of features, all those fantastically done. Which brings me to the driver's seat of this car. First things first, this seat actually moves ahead and behind when you turn on the vehicle and get in for the first time, which is such a good thing. And it says ergo active because these are obviously ergonomic seats so that they are comfortable, not the bucket seats which you get in the Tiguan. Anyways, notice one thing, lot of switches here because this has 12-way adjust. So I put it on memory, but I have to keep the button pressed to actually move it. It doesn't work in a way wherein I press a button and it gets to the position where it has been saved. No. To keep it pressed, which is a bit cumbersome. It says R here. Again, huge door pockets, beautifully lined here. Hard plastics lower down, soft material on the top, and one touch up and down power windows for all the doors. Obviously, these are the mirror controls. Kind of reminds me of my Polo. And you get a proper dead pedal here, aluminium pedals, which is obviously in line with the R line badging, and here you get some storage space, secret storage space, but hard plastics. Headlight controls have been given here. Look at this Easter egg. After the rain comes sunshine with an umbrella. The mats also have this Easter egg, which is kind of cool. The dashboard looks very sporty, finished in all black. I kind of like it. And as soon as I step in, I'm going to be turning off the indicator of the vehicle. This is auto dimming, light control here on the top. Just press it to activate, deactivate. You get a mirror here along with a light. This does not extend only. It's kind of funny. And here you get decent amount of kit. First aid kit for this particular car. This does not come with the car. Hard plastics. Lot of hard plastics low down. Soft material here. Soft material here as well. And under thigh support, yes, extendable one for both the driver as well as the co-driver. The co-driver also gets 12-way adjust and also has the welcome and goodbye thing wherein it moves the seat ahead and behind, which is obviously quite nice. The steering is the same as the VW 2.0 cars, and obviously it gets the flat bottom treatment, but you get the R badging here and a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. This is obviously cruise control, volume control, ahead behind the track, and this is to operate this particular screen. There is an AR heads-up display, which is quite nice. I like it. I love the design of the dashboard. It's very nicely done. And notice one thing, there are two switches here. One is to open the blind only, and the other one is to open the sunroof. So yeah, a very thoughtful feature of this car to have two different switches, one for the blind, one for the sunroof. The only thing is this is sort of a touch control, so not the easiest to use, and it opens quite big, so there I can open it even further. Brings in a lot of airiness inside the car. Fantastic, huge panoramic sunroof. Does the Fortuner have that? No. We only sell you QDR. That's what Toyota says. Toyota does not offer any feature only in its cars. That's the reason I feel this car's real competition is its brother from another mother, the Kodiaq. The Kodiaq also misses out on a lot of features when compared to this car. Like it gets 18-inch wheels, it doesn't get ADAS. So yes, it has a bigger screen as well. The Kodiaq gets a 12.9-inch screen, 13-inch screen. Lower variants of this car have a 12.9-inch screen. This is a 15-inch screen, which is massive. Like look at the size of the screen. It's huge. Physical buttons missing only here, just few of them. I'll come to that in a bit. This slides ahead and behind. There is storage space here. You can actually remove this if you want and take it home as well, because I'm going to put it back into place. And this partition you can change. Britishers love this feature of this car, this whole partition feature. And you get a 12-volt charging socket here as well. So there are two USB-C charging sockets at the rear, right? And there are two USB-C charging sockets at the front as well. So these are 45-watt fast chargers. Two wireless charging pads, which are 15 watt each. But do they get the cooling function? Doesn't seem so. Phones tend to heat down wireless charging. That's a bit of a problem. Gloss finishing here. The steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake. paddles should have been of the metal kind, plasticky there. This is the control for the headlight as well as the wiper. Actually, this is for the wiper and to go on to high beam. Meanwhile, this is the gear selector, again similar to the Kodiaq. However, this illuminates at night, so you can see exactly which gear you have to be in. Now, this is a 10.25 inch screen which has a lot of multiple views, so you can change the views. But before that, let me just shut this thing, because when there's a warning light, it doesn't let you do anything at all. So here I can change what I want to see in this particular mode, and I will just come into the view mode here, because I can make a lot of changes. Yeah, there are multiple views, which is fantastic. This is the ADAS view, which is kind of cool, and there's a navigation view as well, which lets me see the maps. And obviously this is the best view of the vehicle. Now I can go and change stuff on the right and left side if I want. So all I need to do is press a button and change what I want to see as the information. And obviously when I turn on the vehicle, I have the animation wherein it says VW right there. The horn is also super duper awesome. I really like the horn of the vehicle, quite nicely done. Now coming to this particular screen, there is so much in the screen which is absolutely unbelievable. First and foremost, there are very few physical buttons, just this one. So this is for the volume control, and if I press it inside, I can come into the drive mode, so I can change it from here. This is the electric parking brake. This is the engine start stop button. But the good part here is that everything on the screen is actually slick and easy to use, because if I want to come into climate, I just press a button here and there I am into the climate menu. Now this obviously gets an air ionizer. It says air care on, and it's kind of easy to use with multiple modes here. So I can have defog windows, cool my feet, warm my feet, fresh air, warm my hands, rapid cooling, all those things you can decide. And you can also just make changes to the air conditioning using this switch. So dual 3-zone, actually 3-zone, 2 at the front, 1 at the rear. 3-zone climate control air conditioning. Only thing is the rear zone climate control air conditioning system has these touch sensitive buttons, not the easiest to use as such. So let me turn off the air conditioning because I'm already sweating right now. Let me come out of this menu. So this is the home function. This is the bar for volume control. Here you see it says vehicle ready to drive. Switch off the ignition before leaving the vehicle. Yes bro, don't disturb me, I'm making a video right now. And here you can get a lot of different displays for the off-road data as well. And then when I change the steering angle, it shows me max, I think 30 degrees. Yeah, that's right, 30 degrees. And from here I can turn off the stability control. When I do that, it tells me to confirm it on the steering wheel. In fact, when I turn on the seat heating, it tells me here on the steering wheel, heating is on this side. Okay, so the cluster is actually smart. The steering feels super nice to hold, and which brings me to the home here. So what is this? This is seat heating, this is seat ventilation, and this is for the massage. Yes, it has got 8 massage modes, which is fantastic, and duration can go all the way up to 30 minutes. You can change the intensity from here. Absolutely fantastic. Massage is so damn cool. Toyota Fortuner is like, what is that? And you can synchronize both the front seat angle here, so that you can keep them in the same position. If you want, you can move the seat from here. Okay, some noise coming from the seat ventilation. So they have put everything but the kitchen sink in this car, which is absolutely amazing. In fact, it has got self park as well. Can you believe it? Now this is the parking camera. Camera quality could be better. This is the 360-degree view, and I can just change the view from here like this. Meanwhile, when I come into drive, when I'm going ahead, it changes the mode of the camera accordingly. So this is for the reverse, and this is the front camera, and it has got adaptive guidelines for both. And the camera actually seems to be moving. It's just a software thingy. It's not really moving as such. It's fixed, but it kind of gives me the feeling that it is moving, because obviously the software has been tweaked in a way that it makes you feel like that. So when I was in reverse, I realized that there is obviously the park assist here, wherein it tells me of route guidance is not active, whatever. So in park assist, it helps me self park the car, so that auto parking also works fantastically well. Crazy amount of features. And then this main menu lets me tweak a lot of things like lane assist, driver attention monitoring, interior monitoring, all those things. Stop start I want to turn off for the moment. And let me come into this menu wherein you see there are a lot of things. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of them are wireless here. It has got inbuilt navigation as well. So I'm just going to navigate to some random place.
Please drive to the route shown.
Yeah, there it's telling me all that, and it's also showing it to me in the heads up display as well. So let's shut this off for the moment. Let's come out of this menu. You can connect app, parking, settings, which has a lot of stuff like languages, units, network, and all. You can connect it there as well. And then there's something known as experiences. So that is basically the drive mode. There's 6 drive modes, and in the individual mode you can configure a ton of things. Yeah, ton of things can be configured, but there is no DCC Pro here, unfortunately, which is there in the Tiguan, by the way. Then there's something known as atmospheres, which lets you change the way ambient lighting works and certain settings of this car works, which is kind of nice as well. And that brings me to the off-road menu, which I've already shown you. Background lighting is cool because you've got these modes here, and it changes the color here, changes the color in the instrument cluster, it changes the color around the doors on this panel as well. This is so premium, and it does it here as well. This is also damn freaking awesome with the R badging. In fact, when you turn on the car, it does multiple colors. Yeah, sort of a change of colors here, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I can obviously make changes here. So there are 30 colors for the ambient lighting. The ambient lighting is phenomenal in this car. And then I can come into the seats for the massage program. Let me swipe it here. Okay, it has obviously got tips and help, wherein it lets you understand various functions of this car. So it's like an inbuilt ownership manual, so you don't have to use those physical pages to understand. And then the air conditioning menu is a bit hidden, but then because all the air conditioning controls are here lower down only, it doesn't really need to be so in your face either. Which actually brings me to the sound, because you can tweak a lot of things. Harman Kardon sound system. This car has got 11 speakers and 700 watt output. Audio quality is phenomenal. Now that was amazing. Obviously, it has got the voice commands, which is known as IDA. So let's try that. Hello, IDA. What time is it?
It's 9 o'clock 56 minutes AM.
Hello, IDA. Fortuner has Rutba. Do you have it?
Oh, that's something I still need to learn.
Of course, you need to learn how to have Rutba by having ladder frame, rear wheel drive, and a lot of other things. But anyways, okay, I think I'm already talking to this lady. I don't want to. So yeah, very slick screen, but more physical buttons would be absolutely fantastic here and much needed as well, because once you get used to it, it's easy to operate. But then again, you are so reliant on the screen. The quality of the screen and all is superb. No denying that fact. So I'm just going to come here and see the hazard button is here. AC vents have been placed lower down right there. And overall fit, finish and quality is fantastic. Just those hard plastics lower down, now they irk me out, but you know, Volkswagen has obviously done a phenomenal job here by giving this car almost every possible feature, which actually brings me to the feature which I was talking about when I was outside the car. So yeah, like, it can get a bit confusing. That's the reason I missed it. Vehicle here, it shows me a few of those features right there. So here you can decide the duration, you can decide the number, like the animation you want for the tail lights, you want the turn signals to be regular or whatever, and then you can decide how you want the projection to be. So it's nice how they have this car spinning here, which lets you make changes very nice and conveniently. In fact, you can decide how you want the doors to lock and unlock as well, whether you want only the driver door or all the doors. So yeah, this is also kind of super duper cool here. Fantastic. And then when you get into the inside, it lets you do that like this. So it spins the car. The animations absolutely unbelievable. In fact, you have two color schemes for the heads-up display. There's snow and standard. The snow only becomes a little darker so that you can actually see it in the snow. Phenomenal. Meanwhile, that is a huge boot right now with the seats folded. In fact, with the third row folded, it's 850 liters. Otherwise, without any rows folded, that's like 340 liters or something of that sort. And notice this, that actually illuminates. It's like the driver blind spot monitor or something of that sort, which actually brings me to the ADAS menu here. How do I get into the ADAS menu? See, I'm telling you now, it's a bit confusing how to get into stuff. So yeah, I got into the seat status. Yeah, assist. I'm so stupid. It's written right there. The problem is when I turn off front assist, every time I turn on and off the vehicle, it will automatically turn back on, and I don't want the front assist. So why does it turn back on? It has got attention monitor, side assist, lane keep assist and all those things, and then you have this image view as well, which is kind of cool. Tells you how it works and all that. So why is okay, it's not active only, so it's not showing it to me right now. That is kind of cool as well. Let's turn off the vehicle. And it says goodbye here. The mirror actually moves. Yeah, so the mirror obviously, let me turn on the car again. When you get into reverse now, the mirror does this dipping. It has got heating. It has all these regular features which are expected of a German car. There you can see that move as well. So make sure that you don't hit a curb while parking the car. And my goodness, the greenhouse effect is real, because when I was inside the car, I was like absolutely burning right there. And now I've locked the car. Mirrors obviously go inside. I keep this button pressed. Let's see what opens. I think all the windows will obviously roll down. This is a feature in my Polo as well, but the Virtus and Taycan do not have it, and that's the reason it looks to me very fancy. Sunroof tilts, doesn't open completely. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, it's time to start driving. Let's turn on the car. There, it rose to life. Soft limiter, slightly under 4000 RPM, 3900 RPM, something of that sort. Straight away, let me turn off the air conditioning. It makes a lot of sound because I think it's on full blast. Air conditioning off. Here I come into drive mode, sport drive mode. I need to turn off the traction control, ESC system off. And here I have to confirm to turn it off completely. ESC completely turned off. And then I'm going to come into this tire menu, steering angle, because obviously we should be able to see something at least. And straight away I come into drive. Okay, automatically this thing disengages the handbrake, and it's the time for the acceleration test, which means hazard lights off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control program active, revs till 4000 RPM, and off we go. Upshifting under 6000 RPM, upshifting at 6000 RPM. And that's 0 to 100 km per hour in 7.5 seconds. That's consistent. I did the acceleration test earlier as well. It did it in the exact same time, 7.5 seconds, even though VW claims it goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 7.3 seconds. Now it's the time to do a brake test at 120 km per hour. Absolutely superb. This is what VW is all about. Supreme brakes. Obviously ABS pulsating sound could be heard, but tire noise was very well restricted here. Let's do the acceleration test again. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control active, and off we go. Whoops, I think it's a better launch. Yeah, this is a better launch. 0 to 100 km per hour in, come on, 7.51 seconds. How consistent, VW, how consistent. Absolutely phenomenal. And around the corner, oh my goodness, the balance is unbelievable. This car is a hoot to drive. Who could have thought that such a big fat SUV can be this dynamic, this stable, and this damn awesome around the corners? I'm spellbound, and this is without DCC Pro. With DCC, obviously the ride and handling balance would be on another level altogether, because there are 15 different variations in the settings which you can change. Here obviously DCC is not there, so you can't change anything, so adaptive dampers really work like a charm. So definitely the ride and handling balance of this car is absolutely phenomenal. And let me take a quick U-turn, but not a regular one, because we can get into this. Why? Because this has got 4-motion all-wheel drive. Yeah, this has got 4-motion all-wheel drive. Ground clearance is decent. Obviously the ride and handling balance is quite on the neutral side, so doesn't really excel in either, but it is a great balance of both. Engine is actually vocal. I can hear a bit of the engine. It's a smooth engine, it's refined. It is obviously the E888. Okay, let's just see what it does in each gear, which means downshift, downshift, downshift into second. Yeah, the rev's so sweet. Absolutely music to the ears. And just imagine you're driving this car, you're doing maybe 100 kilometers per hour, you come across a sweeper. In other cars like the Fortuner, you would be somewhere there, facing the other way. Not in this one, because you can actually accelerate your way through this corner. That's the level of balance. Unbelievable. What a car. What a fantastic car. Now let's do the 0 to 100 km per hour test in the other direction, the opposite direction, which means left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control program active, and off we go. I can do this all day long. Yeah, that's how fantastic this whole system is. The launch control works phenomenally well. 0 to 100 km per hour in 7.3 seconds. That's exactly what VW claims, and we have delivered. Yes. So the thing is that the Tiguan, which is obviously lighter, goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 7.1 seconds. This takes 0.2 seconds more because of the added weight, obviously. And this is the 2-liter TSI engine known as the E888. This is the Gen 4, which means the ECU is locked, so you can't really program it. And it produces 204 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. Performance obviously is absolutely fantastic. Okay, there's a hint of lag, but the mid-range is nice and the top end is really very good. In fact, it becomes a little vocal also, so I find this a little louder when compared to say the Kodiaq, which is actually a very good thing, because this car has the soul. I noticed this with the Golf and the Octavia RS as well, that VW's tuning is a bit on the louder side, so gives it some bit of aura, some bit of character which is missing in the Kodiaq and the Octavia RS. Making a quick overtake is absolutely effortless because the kind of thrust this car offers is unfreaking believable. This doesn't feel like a 7-seater SUV, it doesn't feel like a 3-row SUV, it doesn't feel like an SUV only in the way it drives. It's so light, nimble, agile and fast. It's supremely fun, mind-blowing. Yeah, what amazing ride and handling balance, what amazing performance. The engine is absolutely unbelievable engine, so much performance, so much grunt, just pushes you hard and fast, doesn't hesitate at all. Such a big SUV going from 0 to 100 km per hour in just around 7 seconds is mind-blowing. Yeah, this is super cool, super fast, super fun. I thoroughly enjoy driving this car, unbelievable fun. Yeah, let's quickly do the wiper test because obviously I can, and there's a lot of spray. So let's again stop and do the 0 to 100 km per hour test because 7.3 seconds is good, but I'm always hungry to go even faster still. And just see this, okay? VW is so consistent that launch control always works. It's never like, oh no, it's not working, there's an issue. No. It simply works phenomenally well. 0 to 100 km per hour, even faster now, 7.28 seconds. Wow, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. What great performance this car offers. I'm in love. Now let's do a different type of test. I come into reverse, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Yeah, it tops out at just 31 km per hour in reverse, which isn't much to be honest. So let's come into drive. Here we are, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch control works so phenomenally well. Camera turned on there, I don't know why. And off we go. How can a car give such consistent performance? 0 to 100 km per hour in 7.3 seconds. Absolutely unbelievable, and that is the VW magic here. So obviously there is a lot of interesting bits in this car which make it so phenomenal in the way it does almost everything. For starters, the steering is actually quite light. You can twirl it like this. Yeah, that is how light the steering wheel is, which makes it so effortless to drive. There are 6 drive modes and obviously they alter a lot of things. So for starters, there's the eco drive mode, then there's comfort, there's sport, and there's individual as well. So here, let me change them for you. And there's off-road and snow, by the way, because obviously it has got 4 motion, which means that in off-road and snow mode, it will obviously make changes to the traction control system to make sure that you are able to drive the car without getting stuck. And then you can change so many parameters like the all-wheel drive mode, the driving dynamics. It doesn't have adaptive dampers, but it can alter the steering weight as well. You can alter the drive, which is obviously the engine, the adaptive cruise control, light assistance, and the air conditioning as well. But I'm just going to stick to sport mode for the moment. Okay, it says please pay attention to the road. All this is restricted while driving. That's kind of weird. Yeah, why is a Volkswagen behaving like a Hyundai car? Wherein in Hyundai cars, it always does all this. It's like, you know, don't do this, don't do that. That's the reason why we need physical buttons. Yeah, I'm trying to get into a mode and it says please pay attention to the roads. I'm just going to come to a halt because, yeah, what is it saying? I don't know. Come on, where were we earlier? See, this is the problem with having, come back here. Yeah. Steering angle is where we were. So anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. It's not really going to be a performance test because obviously we have an incline, but launch control gets activated like this. So this car has got cylinder deactivation technology wherein it shuts 2 out of the 4 cylinders, and it does it in the quest to improve the fuel efficiency of this car. Doesn't really help because the fuel efficiency of this car is not good. Expectedly, it drinks a lot of fuel because don't forget that a petrol engine with this kind of weight, it's I think 1831 kgs of weight, will obviously drink a lot of fuel, and naturally this car is not very efficient. It has a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox which is quick, which shifts only at low speeds. It feels a bit confused at times, but you know, as you speed up, the gearbox really behaves itself very well. Although red line is around 6,500 rpm, usually it upshifts around 6,000 rpm only, and then I've got manual control as well, but it will not hold on to a gear. It will upshift at 6,000 rpm. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is quite fast for something this big, but the top speed claimed is 224 kilometers per hour. I don't believe only what VW says here, because I have managed to do 230 kilometers per hour on the German autobahn in the same car. Only thing is the steering was on the wrong side there. However, I hit 230 kilometers per hour, but I could go even faster. I had to lift off because I think there was a car quite ahead, so I was like, okay, let's ease off. So this is a very, very, very fast car. Performance is absolutely breathtaking here. It has the 4-motion all-wheel drive system, which is beautifully tweaked to ensure that even with traction control off, never does it lose traction at all. There is no wheel spin as such, and DCC should have been offered because it's offered in the Tiguan. Here it would have made a huge difference because obviously adaptive dampers are something which you really would want in a car like this, which actually brings me to the global powertrain lineup, because let's talk about UK for instance. It has a 2-litre TSI, the same one with the same output, but it also gets a higher state of tune, just 265 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque, the exact same one which is there in the Kodiaq RS. That car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.1 seconds, which is absolutely crazy fast, yeah, for something this big. So that's like the Golf GTI tune, or even better tune than the Golf GTI, because the Golf GTI has 370 Newton meters of torque. The 265 horsepower tune of the Tayron actually has 400 Newton meters of torque to offset the heavier weight of the vehicle, obviously. There you also get plug-in hybrid, and with plug-in hybrid it becomes a 5-seater. So essentially it becomes a Tiguan when it has a plug-in hybrid, which has the 1.5 litre TSI engine, the same one which does duty in India in the VW 2.0 cars. But the thing is that it obviously gets a battery pack, so torque is 250 Newton meters, just like in the case here. So 150 horsepower, 250 Newton meters, and then there's a plug-in hybrid version as well, which obviously has more power and more torque as well. So with the plug-in, you are looking at obviously better efficiency. But you would question, why do they even need a plug-in? Well, firstly, with the plug-in, the overall output goes to 204 horsepower, and it can go up to 272 horsepower as well, depending on which tune you opt for. It has a 19.7 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is quite amazing. And in the UK right-hand drive market, they also have a diesel. It's a 2-litre diesel with 150 horsepower. They don't have the highest state of tune, which happens to be 190 horsepower. But yes, diesel is there, quite powerful, very efficient as well. But unfortunately, that is not offered. So if I go to the powertrains, I'll quickly tell you. There's the 1.5 TSI, same tune as the one in India for the Virtus and the Taycan. And then there's the 1.5 TSI mated to hybrid, and there's plug-in hybrid as well. And the plug-in hybrid obviously very efficient. And there's this 2-litre engine with the lower tune of 204 horsepower, which is this, and the higher tune of 265 horsepower. And then there's the diesel, obviously the 2-litre TDI diesel, which is absolutely fantastic. Now it is underpinned by the MQB Evo platform, which is absolutely fantastic. In fact, this car weighs only 1831 kgs, which isn't much weight, which makes me want to stop and launch the car again. Different terrains, let's see how fast the car can go. I am so greedy to make this car just rocket ahead. So left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and now nazar lag gayi, because oh no, actually the thing is nazar nahi lagi. I was in manual, that's the reason launch control did not turn on. Now it turns on and off we go. That is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.99 seconds. Oh my goodness, absolutely fantastic. What is this car? I know there's a slight downslope of minus 1.5%, but still, it's unbelievably quick. What a fast car. This car should not have R line. It should just have R on it. Probably Volkswagen should get the Tayron R in India with 265 horsepower, because the Kodiaq RS is obviously coming. So that car should also make it to our shores, and we're going to stop and launch again. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. Let's change this view as well. And launch control is always so ready to get active, and off we go. Woo. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. This is a slower one. That's 7.22 seconds. What a fast car. So this car actually sits between the Tiguan and the Touareg. Globally, they also have a lot of bigger SUVs, like the Atlas is there, and I don't want to go there because all those are American focused SUVs, which are much bigger, left-hand drive largely. But this is Volkswagen's flagship SUV in India, and trust me, it has everything that a flagship should. All the features, just DCC is missing, unfortunately. Now there's some Skoda in this car, because the net I was showing you earlier actually has the Skoda logo, and when I see the rear windscreen from here, I realized there's actually a blind on that as well. So they've made sure that privacy is taken care of, and the sun is always kept out in this car. No amount of photosynthesis can happen in this car. That's the level of blinds, and you get the drift. Anyways, very bad joke, makes no sense. This car gets 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. Obviously it's assembled in India, which is again fantastic, which means that the price of this car is not going to get reduced because of the free trade agreement with EU. Only thing is that the CBU models like the Golf GTI and probably the Tiguan R Line, they could become more cheaper. But then if the Tiguan R Line becomes cheaper, why would anyone buy the Tayron R Line? Because at the end of the day, the last row of seats are not very useful. It just gives you the flexibility as such. Now the Kodiaq actually has a 5-seater version known as the Lounge, which starts at around 39.99 lakhs ex-showroom. So we can expect a 5-seater version of this car as well, priced much cheaper. But I think they should just get the T-Roc instead, because the T-Roc would definitely be a better alternative to this car at around, say, slotted between, say, the Taycan and the Tiguan. right? No, because this car will cost as much as a Tiguan, which actually makes me talk about the prices. So the Kodiaq, I'm not talking about the 5-seater version, the 7-seater version is priced between 47 to 55.55 lakhs on road Mumbai, and the Fortuner is priced between 41 to 60 lakhs on road Mumbai. Meanwhile, the Tiguan is priced at 58.5 lakhs on road Mumbai. So I think the pricing of this car will be more or less similar to the Tiguan, although the Tiguan comes via the CBU route, this comes via the CKD route. But remember one thing, in spite of the fact that this comes via the CKD route, this car actually has a lot more features when compared to the Tiguan. So when you factor in that, the premium definitely feels justified. The premium over the Kodiaq also feels justified because yes, they've given it everything possible. Does the ADAS detect cows? No. Well, it turns out I don't know where I'm going, so I'm just going to turn on the maps. I've connected Apple CarPlay and it shows me in the navigation as well. Does it show me here in the map view, or do I have to use the car navigation only? Let's get into this view. I don't think it understands what I'm trying to do. Anyways, let's make a quick U-turn here. Yeah, turning radius is a bit much, obviously, considering the size of this car. But yeah, we're just going to take another route. So I'm going to quickly change the drive mode and I'm going to come into comfort. Well, it just feels more smoother because the engine is not that active. The gearbox is a little easy with shifts, doesn't really hold its red line as much unless and until you throttle pedal completely. It's not going to do that. And where am I supposed to go? Why is it showing me so many blue things? Yeah, the car is confused, or rather Google Maps is confused today, not the car as such. Yeah, it's telling me here where I need to go. So that's actually fantastic that the map and all works there. It's showing me ADAS menu there, which is kind of cool. So we're just going to come into that particular menu as well of the ADAS there. It is not a truck, it's a pickup truck, but somehow it's telling me there's a truck there. And there, obviously, forward collision warning is working. So as I see it, this car is absolutely phenomenal, way better than that one in almost every aspect. Only thing, it is not a ladder frame, it's a monocoque. And the Fortuner is popular because of the ruggedity, how rugged it is, how durable it is, low service cost, built to last and all those things. And that's something which is almost impossible to compete with. And that's the reason Volkswagen is like, you want features, we'll give you everything possible under the sun. So kudos to them for making sure that this car is loaded and how with almost every possible feature under the sun. Oh my god, it's telling me that it's a bike. So yeah, that's kind of well calibrated. This car really deserves to sell. I kind of feel that not only is it better than the Fortuner, it is better than any other competitor in the segment because the kind of features, the kind of driving feel and everything is phenomenal. A diesel engine in this car will double the sales overnight. But VW is like, we are still figuring out whether we want to get diesel or not, and that's also because of the government policy always being helter-skelter. If that gets sorted out, if a diesel comes, I would buy this car eyes closed, because obviously petrol engine doesn't give efficiency. The fuel efficiency here is single digit numbers. You'll get around 7 to 8 kilometers per liter. Again, depending on your driving style, out on the highway you can get double digit numbers. But trust me, efficiency is not the name of the game for petrol SUVs, because obviously the big size, the engines can't really give you that efficiency. And not just Volkswagen's turbo petrol engine, but any engine for that matter. Only thing is Volkswagen's turbo petrol engine is by far the best, and they're telling me the blind view monitor. That's kind of nice as well. I think it's time to just end this video with a nice audio test.
Fearless.